I'm Nicole from Andover. I'd like to thank you very much for bringing us all together tonight. And my question is very simple. A lot of children and young adults are leaving schools and colleges without the basic skills needed to enter adult life. Would you agree that that was the case, or perhaps with your experience in The Apprentice, are you sort of the opposite?
Without these skills, you say?
Yeah, without the skills needed.
Yeah, I agree with you. Vocational skills, yeah, without the skills. We talked earlier on, the gentleman over there, about the comprehensive school that taught me everything in engineering terms and all that type of stuff, which would have allowed me to go on to an engineering. But I mean, yeah, you're right. There's not enough practical experience in education, and I mean, you know, we could be here all night discussing it. I mean, going through the systems, look through the policies over the year where school was judged by the amount of A-level and O-level passes, and that's the criteria upon which the school was judged as successful. And what they forgot is about that sector of the community that were not academically blessed, and we have lots of people like that. Doesn't make them bad people, and doesn't and I believe they've been ignored. They are ignored a lot, and that's where the old-fashioned technical school or something like that would kick in. But the fact that they're annoyed gives this mass unemployment with people that are unskilled. You know, I often get in many of the Q&As that I do for young people at schools, people jumping up out their chair and saying, I want to start an airline. You know, I'm Johnny and I'm 16 years old, I just left school, but I want to start an airline. I mean, you have to, you know, fair enough, Johnny. The practicality. You know,
Things like writing a cheque.
Yeah, well, there's no check. I mean, and the other thing is, of course, that we've come. See, the other thing is, in the late 80s and in the early 90s, there's a generation of young people that have grown up that have this expectancy. Going back to our old friends at the banks, before it all went wrong in 2007 and 2006 and all that stuff. If you go back to the late 80s, very late 80s, the late 90s, the early parts of 2000s, there was this dot-com boom. Do you all remember that? And basically, if you had a nice blue blazer, and a pair of ripped jeans, and an open collar shirt, and a bottle of Evian in your hand, and a spreadsheet, you walked into a bank and came and called yourself .com something or other, and you walked out with £5 million, and you've got this Zuckerberg effect, which still sits around in the minds of the youngsters that have grown up in that era. And it's unfortunately, we need to purge that out of their brains, because that was a Mickey Mouse period, and also they can't compare themselves. Unfortunately, living in England, you're not going to have a Zuckerberg effect here in the UK. It doesn't happen. And it's trying to get the youngsters to lower their expectations. Get a job, first of all. Get some, God forbid, go out and work. Not go to and come up with some kind of brainstorm idea for an app or something like that and blame the world that no one wants to back them and help them. There's too much of that expectation out there. And that's why I spend most of my time trying to, I don't like to suppress the enthusiasm, but pointing out that that's not how life is, I'm afraid.
No, I know you've got to go back and watch a certain programme called The Apprentice.
Yeah, I've got another 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Oh, great. Okay, brilliant. Who at the front?